Let's move on to the next topic, shall we? Let's move on to the next topic. Let's talk about, speaking of Big Daddy Trump, Charlamagne to President Trump donkey of the day for you. Your clapback was full of lies. Oh. So basically, let's go to, matter of fact, I'm gonna read it. Y'all want me to read what Trump said to Charlamagne? Yeah, type yes if you want me to read what Trump said to Charlamagne. Type yes or no if you want me to read the letter Donald Trump sent to Charlamagne. Y'all let me know. We got time now. I should have had this propped up already. Let's see. Yes, read. Okay. If I can find it. Y'all hold on. Let me go chat GPT. Chat GPT do everything. What was the tweet Donald Trump wrote to Charlamagne the God? I'm trying to find it, y'all. I'm trying to find it. What? You know what? Hold on. Okay, here you go. Bam. All right, so Trump wrote this to Charlamagne and basically was just throwing shots like a gangster he is. The rest of the chat the rest of the chat don't know this court, so you do got to carry along with us, however you say it. So this is what Trump said to Charlamagne. He basically said, the very wonderful and talented Laura Trump, whose show is a big rating success, but racist, sleazebag, Charlamagne the God. Why is he allowed to use the word God when discriminating himself? Can anyone imagine the uproar? Imagine the uproar will be if I use that nickname. He's a low IQ individual, has no idea what words are coming out of his mouth, and knows nothing about what or I have done. Like just ending 5 wars, including a 31-year bloodbath. 31-year bloodbath between Republic of Congo and Rwanda, where 7 million people have died. All right, but what's going on, Paco? Have died, and there was no end in sight. He didn't know that, or India and Pakistan, or wiping out Iran's nuclear capabilities, or closing the horrendous open border, or creating the greatest economy, where prices and inflation have come way down, and where stupid and corporate Joe Biden set the record for doing the worst job as the president ever. But this dope Charlamagne would vote a Sleepy Joe or Kamala. Remember, 1 year ago, our country was dead. Now it's the hottest country anywhere in the world. MAGA for life, god damn it. I was the wrong button. So, hold on, let me start over. MAGA for life. MAGA for life. MAGA for life. So So yeah, so Charlamagne basically gave Donald Trump donkey of the day. Desiree said, where have prices went down? Because everywhere I go, every price is higher than 2 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about that, Desiree. I don't know what you're talking about. But I can't actually play that on stream, but I can play the audio. So this was Charlamagne actually said about Donald Trump this morning.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States. Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now, out, he's fired. He's fired!
Trump, please step up to the congregation.
Yes, you are a donkey.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending...
All right, shut up.
Hi, guys. Donkey of the day for Monday, August 4th goes to President Donald J. Trump. Now, if you haven't heard, I was on Lara Trump's show, My View, on Fox this past weekend. Drop one of clues bombs for Lara Trump.
Oh, yeah. Donald Trump wrote that based off of what Charlamagne said on that show. I forgot to put that in context. So, yeah, we ain't going to go back to that. I mean, I could play it, but we ain't got time. I mean, we got time, but I don't feel like it.
She's been a guest on Breakfast Club before, so I had no problem showing up to her program. You know, I'm one of those silly rabbits who still believes in the First Amendment, okay, freedom of speech. I don't have to agree with what you're saying, but we should all agree that you have the right to say it. Thankfully, Laura is a Trump who still believes in freedom of speech because her father-in-law, the 47th president of the United States of America, did not take too kindly to some things I had to say. Now, I'm going to play you a couple of parts of the conversation. Let's play when she asked me, what do I think of President Trump's second term so far?
I wouldn't give it a good rating. You know,
Why not?
Simply because, you know, the least of us are still being impacted the worst. Like when you look at something like, you know, the big beautiful bill, that's something that, you know, I'm going to benefit from because of the tax bracket that I'm in. But, you know, there's going to be so many people that's hurt by that bill. And, you know, anything that, you know, takes away Medicaid from people and is going to put people in a worse financial situation than, you know, they were previously in, I'm not for it.
I mean, where is the lie? Trump's big, beautiful bill is going to make the rich richer and the poor poorer, okay? Cuts all the safety net programs, the Medicaid, the food stamps, the housing assistance. Millions of people will lose health care. Groceries will still be...
Do y'all agree with that? Like, do y'all actually agree with that? I can't really tell a difference now in the economy. I mean, you know what? I'm not really political like that. But I'm just saying, like, I'm eating good. I'm eating good. I'm doing all right. Why am I not focused?
Through the roof. Rent support will be through the roof. There's no relief for people who are already hurting. Okay, I know I'm not supposed to care because this bill helps the rich. All right, the bill has all these corporate loopholes and capital gain breaks that benefit the 1%. But I know how I was raised. Okay, on a dirt road in Mounts Corner, South Carolina. Dropping the clues bombs from Mounts Corner. All right. So I'm going to always have imposter syndrome when it comes to finances. My mind is always on the have-nots, and this big, beautiful bill hurts the have-nots, okay? Like I said, the rich will get richer while the poor will be forced to work more for less, okay? They'll have to work more for less support because they have work requirements for aid that make it harder for the poor to qualify for help. I know I'm not supposed to care because I'll benefit from the income taxes, but you got everyday items like gas and groceries, electricity, they'll be more expensive for everybody else. So Americans making low incomes will have to pay a bigger share of their income to make ends meet. And President Trump, must I remind you that you said you won the election because of one word, groceries. Do we have that?
And I went on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, you know, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on that.
People's groceries are still too high. You have not lowered the cost. Okay, the other issue I said.
I mean, but is it fair to say that Donald Trump ain't really, and he hasn't really been in office long? I mean, like, what can you really change in, you know, 4 or 5 months? I mean, just to be fair, can we just give it time for the economy to actually change? Because you know you can't actually change the economy overnight. You can't change the economy overnight. Man, eggs was like $9 3 months ago. $9? Where's y'all buying these eggs at? Where y'all buying these eggs at? But let's continue.
And on my view with Lars Trump is I believe traditional conservatives are quietly staging a political coup to take their party back from MAGA. I explained this to y'all a couple of weeks ago in detail, but let's listen to what I said on my view.
I think that traditional conservatives are going to take the Republican Party back. I think there's a political coup going on right now in the Republican Party that people aren't paying legislation and paying attention to.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I think that this Epstein thing is going to be a way for traditional conservatives.
So if he ain't have nothing to do with that, who's going to take account for that? Who's going to take account for that? Court said, yes, it's fair to say when he the one that said he going to make a change day one and he made changes. All right. Yeah, I mean, he was working on immigration. So y'all want all these illegals in this country. Y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree with that? Just on that sentiment right there. Do y'all agree that these illegals should stay in this country? Answer that for me.
This to take their party back. I really do. I think that they know this is the issue that has gotten the base riled up. The MAGA base isn't letting this issue go, and for the first time, they know they can, probably take their party back and not piss off the MAGA base. I think they're going to do that.
Just a conspiracy theory I have. MAGA, y'all like a good conspiracy, all right? I mean, based on J.D. Vance allegedly visiting Rupert Murdoch in Montana, that was the same week Trump's letter to Epstein was published by Rupert Murdoch in the Wall Street Journal. And then this, about a week later, Mike Johnson shut the House down to avoid a vote on releasing the Epstein files. And then the Wall Street Journal came out and said Trump knew he had been in the Epstein files since May. And I just look at how the MAGA base has responded to the Epstein issue. It just feels like traditional conservatives who lost the party to Trump could use this opportunity to get it back because the MAGA base wouldn't be upset at all if they impeached Trump and voted to remove him because he's in the Epstein files. I'm just saying, President Trump, watch your back, okay? Between Elon Musk, Rupert Murdoch, and you need to watch your Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and your VP, J.D. Vance, too. I'm just saying, okay? But anyway, Trump didn't like any of that, so he replied with a long-ass post on Truth Social. Lauren LaRosa, are you sober enough to read it?
I'm good.
Let's listen.
The very wonderful and talented Laura Trump, whose show is a big rating.
Yeah, and I read all that. And I read all that. We're going to fast forward to that. Blah, 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 blah.
MAGA.
Now, the personal insults, I don't care. He called me a sleazebag. I looked up the definition of sleazebag. Says it's a disgusting or despicable person. Depending on who you ask, that may apply to me. Okay, I personally prefer friendly neighborhood a-hole. Okay? He said I'm a low IQ individual. I don't know. I've never taken an IQ test. He said I have no idea what words are coming out of my mouth. Absolutely true. Okay, I've been surprising myself my whole life. Like, damn, I actually
separating kids from their parents, sending people to countries that they not even from is a way to do it. But hey, like Trump said, they can go with them. The bird virus caused the eggs to go sky high. Oh yeah, see there. Reading is fundamental. But like Trump said, the kids can go with them. The kids can go with them. The whole family can go. What's wrong with that?
Actually said that. Now let's get to your claims. He said, I don't know anything about him ending 5 wars. Mr. President, nobody knew that. Because it's not true. All right, there is zero evidence, nothing credible whatsoever that says President Trump played any role in ending the ongoing, keyword ongoing conflict in the eastern DRC or in Rwanda. Okay, America has not brokered any major peace deal between the DRC and Rwanda during Trump's second term. And wiping out Iran's nuclear capabilities, you did pull off a significant strike, but it didn't eliminate Iran's nuclear capabilities. Saying you wiped it out is an overstatement because according to reports, no enrichment facility was destroyed and Iran's nuclear threat is still very active, and some experts
I don't know about
more
that.
Dangerous
I don't know about that
due to a lack of international oversight and the increased beef with Israel and the USA. Now, you also claim the borders were closed. Not closed, but you have tightened immigration policies and increased enforcement. You have definitely made the border harder to cross, but saying it's closed is false and ignores everyone coming over seeking legal asylum. By the way, I want border security. I just want you to keep your promise of deporting illegals and criminals. But since Homeland Security started to work to deport more people, okay, immigrants with legal status or no criminal history are being detained and deported too. That's not right. Okay, your family is always in fear.
Whose family you talking about?
Okay, all right, listen. My fellow Americans, listen.
Wow.
Listen, my fellow Americans, we are in a strange time right now. A time we have never seen because authoritarian strategy is being used against anyone who speaks.
Say, Black, the point is everything else has gone up, and he said he would make prices come down day one, and he hasn't. Y'all, look, do you really think stuff can happen day one? Of course. Look. Of course. You ain't gonna believe that. He did so much on day one. Like, that's impossible. Like, I agree. That's a lie. But I'm just saying. Everything, things looking good to me. From my POV, everything's looking good. On my POV, everything looking good on my behalf. Uh-oh, my bad, y'all.
Out against this administration. We saw what happened Friday. President Trump orders, the firing of labor statistic chief after data shows unemployment rates are higher. I don't know if you know President Trump, but by firing this woman, you added to the unemployment rate. But that, along with his reaction to what I said on Lara Trump, shows how authoritarians will attempt to bully people into pushing false narratives.
Talking about Trump.
You realize the best way to get the headlines you want is to simply do a good job, is to simply do right by all Americans. He called me a racist. I didn't mention race not one time on Lara Trump. I didn't bring up the fact that President Trump issued an executive order directing oversight of institutions like the Smithsonian to remove or suppress narratives about systemic racism and Black history. They want to reframe cultural memory to eliminate discussions of historical racial injustice. That, along with determination of diversity and civil rights programs, are considered very racist by a lot of civil rights advocates. I didn't even bring that up. Okay, I was just talking to your base, letting your base know that you haven't kept the promises you made in regards to the economy. In fact, you've made things worse. It's actually hilarious to see you upset about the high unemployment rates when you let Elon Musk take a chainsaw to the federal government and fire a bunch of government workers earlier this year. You did that, President Trump, and now you're doing exactly what the Biden administration did, trying to convince America the economy is all good when it's not. Maybe for people in a certain tax bracket, but for majority of your constituents who aren't in the 1%, it's not all good. So you can hire a new labor statistics chief to lie about the numbers. It won't stop the reality of people being unemployed. Okay, you can tell falsehoods about inflation being down. It won't stop the reality of the price of consumer goods being high because of tariffs you implemented. So listen.
Y'all think he cooking?
Don't worry about Leonard, okay? Don't worry about Charlamagne the God. I know something I said hit a nerve and rattled you a little bit, but I don't want you rattled. I want you to end wars. Okay, I want you to keep the border secure. I want you to have the economy booming. I want booming. Okay, I want all these things to be true. I am an American. I don't care who's in the White House. I want America to succeed. Okay, believe it or not, I'm rooting for you. But I need you focused. And right now, you're not focused. Okay, we need you focused on two things: the economy and Epstein. All right, I need you to keep the promises of a great economy and the promises of transparency with the Epstein.
All right, well, let me ask y'all this: like, how is the Epstein files gonna benefit this country at all? That's what I want to know. How is the Epstein files gonna benefit this country at all? Y'all answer that for me in the comment section. Releasing the Epstein files, how that's going to benefit anybody? If eggs is $10, like you said. CTG is dead on. This man is trying to be a king. We are a democracy. Yeah, that's the fact. We are a democracy. How is he trying to be a king? How? It's almost over, y'all.
And I don't want us as a people to be distracted. Whenever you see Trump trying to deflect from what's important, keep him focused. Ask two simple questions. What about the economy? What about the Epstein files? Go in his mentions, have pity parties all the time, and ask him those two things. Happy born day to President Barack Obama. And thank you for your attention to this.
And I don't even want to hear nothing about y'all talking about Barack Obama, because he out here with LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ and ain't even trying to help his own people. I'm just saying. What y'all got to say about Obama and talking about all these gay, putting this gay agenda out here? Look, this ain't supposed to be a political stream, y'all. This is a hip hop stream, bro. But that's enough of Charlamagne. Shout out to Charlamagne, though. We all are not gonna agree on politics or religion or whatever, but hey, let's just wait and see. Colin 996 said, also, you think we should have a PDF as a press? Whoa, wait a minute. He's in those files. But how do you know that, though? How do you know that, though? Of course, getting child, what? It's benefiting the country. They could be abusing the kids to this day. Okay. If those files don't have anything wrong, why are you not showing them? This man released MLK files. MLK daughter said, thank you, but we asked for SD files to release them. Okay, I'm not objecting about the Epstein files. I'm not objecting to that. But all I'm saying is the country have bigger fish to fry. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. But let's get off politics. Because that's one thing about me. I don't like talking about politics or religion to anybody, because that is a very sensitive subject. So let's get into some ratchetness real quick. Let's get into some ratchetness real quick with that.